Hi everyone, I'm Will, and today we're going to be going into the second round of our custom championship in Assetto Corsa with 100% AI. And today we're going to be in one of my favorite tracks in the world, Laguna Seca, driving one of the cars best suited for the MX-5 Cup car. In round 1 at Valluga, we finished in 8th, which scored us 3 points, but it's not nearly enough to get us high in the championship. We've only got 5 rounds here to make an impact. So, hopefully, in one of my favorite tracks in the world, I'll be able to set a better qualifying lap than we did in the first race and get a better result. So let's go ahead and hop into qualify and hope we can get a good lap in. Alright, so in qualifying now, getting ready to set a hot lap. Got plenty of room in front of us hopefully, so no one should be in our way. We've got 8 seconds to that yellow car in front of us. Waited too long to shift there, so that's going to hurt us a little bit on this first straight into turn 1, but we'll do with it what we can. Got 15 minutes left to set the time here, almost 16 minutes. On the brakes into the Andretti hairpin. A little wide on that first one, come in and grab the apex in the second. Try to rotate the car around here, just tapping the brakes lightly, trying to get to that apex on the right-hander. Up into 4th. Just letting off the throttle for just a second so we can get through there without running off into the grass or the sand rather. Down into 3rd, just wanting to understeer a little bit, but finally able to get the turnaround. Up the hill into the first left-hander. Sliding quite a bit through there, but everything's okay. And now we're coming up to the corkscrew. I'm going to use every bit of this curve. Down in the second. On the throttle as early as possible, using all of the curve there as well. We're going to be up into 4th, try to get through here flat out. Letting off just for a moment. Grabbing that curve, using every inch of the track. Back in, wanted to come out there. Tapping the brakes so we keep it at 4th gear. Coming into the final turn. Down in second, missing the apex by a mile.
Fastest lap for Cowden, 143.1.
But otherwise, I'm feeling pretty good about that lap. So we're just going to go with it and see where that lands us in the race. It's the fastest lap right now, but there's a ton of time left for everyone to beat that lap. So I'm just hoping that we'll be somewhere on the front few rows. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the race and see where we are. Alright, so that lap, despite our error in the final corner, missing the apex, we still somehow managed to get on pole. So the first 3 rows are going to be us, Questshire, Cowden, Brewer, and Hermanson. So hopefully we can get out here and get a good start, but I'm still going to drive a little conservatively because I'd rather be in somewhere towards the front than to wreck out in first place. So not the best start here off the line. See everyone behind us kind of getting closer. And I see, I believe it's Questshire here coming around the outside of us. But we still got the inside into the Andretti hairpin.
Stay left.
Tires are very cold.
Still there, stay
Very much want to slide around everywhere, more so than it was in qualifying. But we are up in a good position now. Down into 3rd. Understeering past that apex. Alright, so we've got a very good start. I'm surprised by this considering how much the first race at Valluga was a struggle. Maybe it's just because I know this track better. But they're not going to be far behind for long unless they get caught up fighting each other. Like I said, I'm going to drive very conservatively because I don't want to make a mistake and end up in the wall and lose all these valuable points. After all, there's only 5 rounds. Alright, so 2 laps out of 20 done. We've got quite a bit of insurance for the lead now. I'm going to go ahead and go down 3rd through there. Probably should have kept it at 4th, but we all make mistakes. Just going to kind of go for a Sunday drive right now because we have quite an advantage, nearly 3 seconds on Questshire behind us. So while we're
You're
up
in the
here
lead.
in the lead, we've got this much insurance time behind us. I'm going to talk about the difference here between the Assetto Corsa MX-5 Cup car and the iRacing MX-5 Cup car, because this past week I've also been on iRacing with this exact same car and track combination in the fixed MX-5 Global Cup, whatever they call it these days. And in that series, I was racing the exact same track and the exact same car, the MX-5 Cup car at Laguna Seca. So one big difference, like I was talking about, is right up here on the track itself, is coming around this left-hander up to the corkscrew. It's right here, so we can come out all the way on this little bit of asphalt. That asphalt does not exist whatsoever in the iRacing version of the track. You just go out into the sand or the gravel, whatever, and hope and pray that you don't spin it into a wall or into somebody else on the racetrack. Now, secondly, there's a huge difference in the feeling of grip between iRacing and Assetto Corsa. In iRacing, you feel like you're just driving around on ice or on snow tires or something, because there is no way to easily get through high-speed turns without just feathering the throttle and trail braking all the way through, because any sudden movement of the brake while you're turning the wheel is just going to end in spinning, and once you lose it, it can be difficult to bring it back, which seems odd for what is in reality a very low power car. And speaking of power, that is the biggest difference now between iRacing and Assetto Corsa in this car, though I'm sure there is an Assetto Corsa mod out there somewhere that fixes this, is that Assetto Corsa uses the 2016 Indy Miata MX-5 Cup car, which came with a little over 150 horsepower. Now, iRacing had that car as well, but they have since updated it, since the Miata itself has been updated, and it now has about 30 more horsepower, which is updated for the 2019 model year. I don't know what I'm doing with the chip there, but it was updated for the 2019 model year, and now has 180 some odd horsepower, which 30 horsepower isn't a huge difference, generally speaking, but on a track in a car with so little power and so little weight, it can be a very big difference, especially when you get used to driving one that is slower, like this car, and moving up to the iRacing Cup car, which also has less grip. The biggest difference you'll see with that is you're carrying more speed into these corners, so your braking points are massively different than they are in the slower 150 horsepower Cup car. So like coming down this main straight here, as we go on to lap 5 of 20, in Assetto Corsa, we're foot to the floor, same as we would be in iRacing. Gonna just barely be up into fifth. In iRacing, you brake right now. Assetto Corsa, you've got almost a half second really before you need to get on the brakes. You could go later than that if you want to take that wider line through the hairpin. And I also see here, this is again probably mainly due to the power, as I understeer through that right-hander, that the lap times here are wildly different than they are in iRacing. In iRacing, you'll see the fastest drivers down in the 139s, whereas here everyone is in the 143s, 144s, and some even higher than that. So I'd be curious to see on this next lap. I'll try to shut up and concentrate and put in a really fast lap and see how close we are to actually having a comparable lap to the iRacing times.
The gap to Weshire behind is increasing. It's now 6.3.
So 6.3 seconds, second place, 7 laps in, or 6 laps in rather. Could have been quicker through there. Probably could leave it in third the way it's geared. It's quite a bit different than the iRacing gearing through there, maybe it just has more grip. Alright, so far feeling pretty good about this lap. That could have been a lot cleaner. We got 2 turns left. Had to counter steer a little bit there, which is surprising because most of the time I'm dealing with understeer. Be running a little wide, that's okay. See what kind of lap time that was. 140.7, so that shows the difference in grip because I'm in, at best, the high 140s in iRacing in the more powerful car at Laguna Seca. So with this 30 less horsepower, I'm managing to somehow be slightly faster. And I'm not sure how much of that is a difference in the physics and how realistic each simulator is, and how much of that is simply a difference in what tires they've, what tire models they've programmed into the cars, how much grip they get, as well as difference in power. So since this race is being a little bit of a cakewalk, we're kind of gonna edit out to just the highlights on this one. There's no need to sit here and watch me turn increasingly worse laps of Laguna Seca. Alright, so at this point I'm just going to try to see how fast of a lap I can actually set coming through here. I don't have much else to keep me busy at the moment. So we're just going to see my goal for these next 10 laps, second half of the race, is going to simply be seeing if I can get a lap under 1 minute and 40 seconds.
You're now in the lead.
That's a 140.7 right there. So almost a full second. I'm trying to take off, but I think we might be able to accomplish that. We'll see. Alright, I'm feeling good about this lap so far. Let's see where we end up. Completely flat out through there. I think this might be it, but I'm not sure. No, 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 no. Too wide through the final corner. That's going to take some time off. I'm not sure if that's going to hit our 139 target. Let's see. Oh, 140.1, so very close. I'm going to keep trying at that. Alright, good start this time. A little understeery through there. Try to keep it flat out through here. Got to turn it out just the right moment. Use every inch of the curve. Coming up the hill to the first left-hander before the corkscrew. I take off about 2/10 from that last lap so we can be where we want to be. I think that was probably a little too slow. I think I was braking too early. See if we can be flat out through here again. 17 seconds. Second place. Definitely be faster through there because I'm not using all of the track whatsoever. Alright, let's see where this one ends up. Again, just barely over a 1/10, over 140. It's gonna drive me crazy if I can't get it in these last 8 laps or so. Oh no! Oh my god. Okay, well, thankfully we have about 7.5 years between ourselves and second place. So, as long as I don't break the car, we should be okay. So now he's like 10 seconds behind instead of 17. So I guess what we've learned today is that 100% AI in Assetto Corsa is a little bit hit or miss. One track, they may have a perfect racing line, be very hard to compete with.
Left side
And
tires
then on another track, like Laguna Seca here, they are just completely useless and are several seconds down per lap what someone with basic knowledge of the track and car can do. So it's a bit disappointing, but I have a feeling it's not going to be that way in the next few rounds.
You're now in the lead.
I've been in the lead. I don't need an update. Appreciate it though. I guess you don't have much else to say. They're probably in the pits trying to figure out where everybody's going for dinner after the race at this point. There's not much else to do. 100% AI here at Laguna Seca is all driving like they've got the little progressive thing stuck in their OBD2 scanner that's telling their insurance company whether or not they're driving dangerously. So they're trying to save money or something. At this point, I'm just kind of disappointed because I would love to have a good AI race with this track and car combination and to really be competing against the other drivers, because this is my favorite track and this car is extremely fun to drive. It's actually a car I hope to own in the future. Probably not a cup car, but just the Indy Miata.
Seconds.
13 seconds. So at some point in this race I completely spun around backwards and had to put myself back on the track. And we're still 13 seconds ahead. My gas light is on. Just realized I'm not sure if I checked the setup to make sure that there was enough gas. So we'll find out. 1.5 laps to go. Cross our fingers. Let's see. Not too confident about this one.
Last lap, looking good for a podium.
140.2. Alright, we got one more lap to try it. And give it everything I've got. Barely dipping down into the dirt there, but I think we're okay.
Your tyre temperatures are okay.
Oh, we finally have heat in the tires. 20 laps later. Thanks. Took long enough, didn't it? Maybe it'll be enough to help us get through and get that 139 on the last lap. Oh Lord. That was a little messy. I don't think it was slow. Back on the throttle as early as possible, way before the apex, as soon as we have it lined up. Same there. Not quite on the apex, let's see. Is it enough? Is it enough? Just needed about another tenth or so more than we've had so far. Where are we at?
Great win. You deserve
And on the
that
last
today.
lap, finally, a 139.4, a full half second faster than every other lap of the race. So, there we have it. Second. Alright, so we can see the final results here and see a full 25 seconds between us in first and Questshire in second. However, there was still a pretty good distance between him and third, which means that, yeah, 25 to 40 seconds, so another 15 seconds between second and third, which means most of the pack was was over 40 seconds behind us, and we had several drivers that were around a minute or so back. So quite a race there. The AI at Laguna Seca, not the best. We were on 100%, and still it's just not enough for them to really be competitive with someone who knows the track at all. Alright, so standings after the first two rounds. We were only in 8th at Vallenluga, but this absolute... Alright, so taking a look at the standings after two rounds. First race, we were only able to get 8th and score 3 points. This time, however, we were able to get the full 10 points for a victory. First place at Laguna Seca. And now we are up to second in the standings, just under Steven Brewer. So we have a good shot of being in the top 3, possibly even winning this 100% AI championship. Though I have a feeling that the AI is not going to be nearly as easy to get along with at Red Bull Ring and Silverstone as it was to deal with at Laguna Seca. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you did, or if there's anything you'd like to see changed. We're going to be at round 3 in the Red Bull Ring pretty soon, about the same time that all these lines from wearing a VR headset were off my forehead. See you then.